Good evening, everyone. It's 5 o'clock and we're set to begin. Welcome to what many of us in the room, I know I speak for our board and our executive team, consider to be one of the best events of the year. An opportunity to honor our teachers that have been nominated by our students for going above and beyond the call of duty in the classroom in so many different ways. And you'll be hearing more about that because the highlight of this event are the testimonials that the students have written. So we'll be looking forward to that. But first, before we do that, I'd like to introduce a person who does a fantastic job of emceeing this event, has been emceeing it as long as I've been attending, which is at least 9 years. So let's give a warm welcome to Jill St. James from KFOR and Alpha Media.
Wow, has it really been 9? I lost count in there somewhere. I am Jill St. James. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out to our rescheduled event. Still very special, which is why all of us are here. So again, I do appreciate you coming. Of course, this is the annual Lincoln Public Schools Thank You Teacher Recognition event. And today we are going to honor and recognize teachers from across our community and across our state, which is a wonderful tradition that is now more than 3 decades old. Although I don't really ever remember it being rescheduled for weather, but I guess we had to do that for the first time this year, right? Like a lot of other things. Anyway, I'd like to just start things off by asking you a question. What is your favorite day? Okay? Well, is it your birthday? Is it maybe Christmas? Is it maybe the last day of school? Perhaps? Well, today is my favorite day. And that's because you're going to hear some wonderful, heartwarming stories, some struggles, some triumphs, but I dare you to not be inspired today. So I want you to sit back, relax, grab a tissue if you have it. You're going to need it because it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for coming. Helping us honor teachers this afternoon is Connie Duncan, who is the president of the Lincoln Board of Education. Connie?
Thank you so much. Well, today I'm joined here with 2 other school board members. I'm going to make them stand up. Lanny Boswell and Kathy Danek. Thanks for coming. So many of you know I was a teacher for LPS as well. I miss being in the classroom every day. I think about it every day. As I look around the room at our award-winning teachers and students and staff that nominated them, it hurts my heart. As a teacher, I always felt like I made a difference in a child's life that day or year. Mission accomplished. But as the years went on in my teaching career, and I have grown a little older, I really don't look much older, and much more sentimental, and the days just go so quickly, that moments that mean the most to me, and still do happen to me, take places in Walmart, grocery stores and restaurants, or walking in my neighborhood. It happens when an almost adult-like person, and I say almost, comes running up to me and says, "Hey, Duncan, I miss you. I want to introduce you to my wife." Wow, I didn't know you were coming here. Woo! Or you were the best teacher. Or they just give me a big hug. These are the moments in our teaching careers we say, mission accomplished. A child has remembered us forever. That's why this award is so special. Today, someone wants to always remember you as the educator that made a difference. Honored teachers, staff, students, and families, thank you for being here today to help us celebrate these teachers that made a difference in a child's life. And let's get on to the best part.
Thank you very much, Connie. You're right. This is the best part. This is the very special part of our program, which is a time that we have the honor of hearing some of the most incredible letters from students writing about their teachers. We continue to set new records for this event, and this year we set another record, more than 500 nominations from across Lincoln. So that is really quite an honor that you're here. So here's how this part of the program works. I will call the nominator and the teacher to the podium, one category at a time. The nominator is encouraged to introduce any guests that they have brought and then to read their letter. Then I would also welcome the teachers to also introduce their guests, their principal, and to also say a few words. Now the certificates and the gift bags will be presented by Dr. Joel, and so we will pass those out after each letter is read. So let's get underway with the first one. In the category of pre-K through grade 2, our first winning nomination is by Mary Monahan, who is a parent of a Rousseau preschool student. And Mary will get a little help from her son, Owen. The winning teacher is Stephanie Emery from Rousseau Elementary. Please come forward.
Thank you. Do I read mine first? Yes. Okay.
But first introduce who you're by.
I brought Miss Steph Emery, and I wrote this on behalf of my son, who's at the back of the room. He's 3, and I have to excuse myself because if I do cry, I won't stop. Our son Owen has big hazel eyes, a sweet smile, and is quick to giggle. He loves to wrestle, to play dress up in his sister's princess clothes, and to swing. He also has special needs. At the time that we visited Rousseau Elementary for preschool, our son was 2.5 years old and was just beginning to speak. He didn't wear shoes and struggled with most clothing. When we visited Rousseau Elementary for his preschool visit, I honestly didn't think he would be able to attend. I just didn't see how he could survive, yet alone thrive in any kind of school. When we met with his team at Rousseau, we were immediately calmed by his preschool teacher, Miss Steph, who listened to all of our concerns, and there were a lot. The first weeks were hard, but she said they would meet him where he was at, and she was ready for him. When he was upset, she knew exactly what to do. She would bring out magnet tiles since she knew that he loved them. When he needed comfort, she gave him a little small Elsa doll to carry around in his hand through the morning. 5 months later, and he loved school. Thanks in large part to the staff in his room, he is wearing clothing, shoes, interacting with peers, and doing much better than we or his teachers had ever imagined. His relationship with Miss Steph is special and unique. During choice time, he sits next to her and writes on his Magnadoodle while she fills out assessments. And he turns to her for comfort, and when I ask him who his friends at school are, he smiles and shouts, "Miss Steph!" Thank you.
I guess teachers really get up in front of the room and speak all the time, but to get up in front of adults is a lot harder. First of all, I want to thank Mary and Trenton. Most of you guys don't probably know a lot about the preschool program, but they don't have to send their child to preschool. And they came and visit. I remember when you came to visit, and she told me he doesn't wear shoes, and I said, it's okay. It's fine if he doesn't wear shoes. And so that next fall, he came on in and we listened, and we knew what he liked, what he didn't like, and when he came in, he was a quick learner, and we love that about him. So I thank you for sending him because he's awesome, and we love having him in our classroom. So thank you for trusting us with him. This is not by any means an individual honor. This is a team win. I have the most amazing team at Rousseau. Donna, Susan, Courtney, Cindy, I have another Susan, I have Missy. So I have a whole team of people that help me. I don't do this on my own, so it is a team win for us. Dr. Badge and Wendy Berry allow me to do some crazy things there. When I come to them with ideas, they usually look at me kind of funny, and then they trust me that I'm doing what's best for those kids. So I thank them for being very supportive. I have a whole stack of thank yous from parents from the past, but this one is huge. Teachers don't do this job to get recognized at all. So thank you. And I read those letters all the time just to remind myself of why we do it. And it's an awesome job, and I know it sounds corny, but I love my job. I love coming to work, even though there's good days and there's bad days, but I really love what I do. Lastly, I need to thank my husband, who most of you probably know here, Pete, and then my daughter, Jaden. They listen to me when I come home, when I complain, when I tell them funny stories, so they are the best support system at home, so thank you so much.
See, I did not lie about the tissues, okay? You gotta have them. All right. For our next category, grades 3 through 5, our winning student is Jackie Stabner, who is a 3rd grade student at Meadow Lane Elementary School, and our winning teacher is Artis Kane, also from Meadow Lane Elementary School. Would you please come up?
This is my teacher, Miss Kane.
And who else did you bring?
And I brought my mother, Kimberly Stabner, and my sisters, Holly Stabner and Eileen Stabner.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you want to read your letter now? Okay.
Wowie, Miss Kane for LPS Teacher of the Year. Ever since I could remember, I've wanted to have Miss Kane as a 3rd grade teacher because she was always really nice, and when I walked by her classroom in kindergarten, she always smiled, and my older sisters would say she's the best. And now I have her, and I am so lucky. Every day I walk in, and she makes me laugh. Like, she loves to do idioms like don't judge a book by its cover, and also get off your high horse. She's also weird in a good way. Miss Kane always says on my spelling test, wowie. Of course she made up the word, but it's awesome. She always makes us laugh by acting like she was outside as a little kid saying hi to people, jogging outside, then getting chased by bees. She's the most thoughtful teacher because we hatched baby chicks in 3rd grade. So she actually fell on the ice and broke her arm for them because she needed to turn them. Miss Kane also always gives us a brain break. Then Miss Kane's class has a great tradition of getting to eat in the classroom on like Cream Turkey Day and Boys Club, Bros Club. And she's supportive, encouraging, but if anyone's having a bad day, she will make us feel 1,000 times better than before, and she always, always stays on the positive than negative. And on our school practice lockdown, she said that she would protect us in any way, and I thought that was really heartwarming and sweet. But the most important thing I want to share with you all is she encourages me to keep talking, but helps me not talk too much so I don't disturb anyone. She can relate to me because she was also a chatterbox too. As you can see, she's very deserving of this award. Vote Miss Kane for Teacher of the Year. Signed, Jacqueline Stabner.
Jackie, wow. Okay, wowie, I should say, right? Awesome. I got great kids, don't I? You know what? Before I start, I just want to say I'm so pleased that it's not the governor's mansion. I mean, we're going to knock on his door and get him up out of his pajamas one morning, you and I. But, you know, this is, Jackie, this is the brains of LPS, okay? Love Jill. You got Steve. You got Eric. You got the board members. And so these people, I love children to know that behind the doors, you know, there's lots and lots of people that are trying to be pro for your education, and we don't even see them. And they spend hours and hours coming up with ideas or tweaking the curriculum or adding some things if a child isn't able to read. How are we going to get that? We're going to do an inventory, but they're always coming up with great ideas. So I love that we're in the brain of it. It's like getting to see behind the curtain, right? Who's the wizard right behind there? You can see some of them. They're amazing, okay? I'm going to start now, okay? I'll stop talking and start. So I'm just a quilt, and a quilt of many, many people that have just made an impact on my life, okay? My 3rd and 4th grade teacher, amazing, changed my life, okay? Going forward into college, we were talking about Doane College, Coulter, amazing history teacher, and I said, that's how I want to teach the history of Lincoln. I love Lincoln, and I teach it and act it out just the way he does. He made an imprint. He's a quilt, you know, and you move forward and you go down and you can see other educators. My first teachers that I taught with at Bassett, Nebraska, an older group, I think they were like in their 70s or 80s, so probably 800 years of teaching that I gleaned from, and they taught me that you make it or break it for a kid. You have 1 year. You have one crack at them and make it the best year possible. And so every morning I would get up and I would do something. They'd say, don't do anything fluffy. Make sure every minute counts, you know? So that's what I try to do with you. Every minute counts. I can hear their voice in the back of my head. Another quilt. Keep moving forward. My parents just have put into me my work ethics and, you know, the love for the Lord and just who I am and love for people, my passion for people. It's from my parents. That's another quilt. And you move down, my husband, who, the kindergarten teacher, where are you, preschool? Where are you? Where are you? Kindergarten teacher changed his life and got him on the direction. You know, they said, what do you want, Leon? I want a big house. She goes, well, you got to get through me to get it, you know, and so he did, and he got that big house and another big house. But he got his education, pro-education, you know, and my team at Meadow Lane, awesome, guys, just awesome. They're up here with me, and their fingerprints are all over you. Your kindergarten teacher, your first grade teacher, your second grade teacher. I see it when Jackie comes through the door. I can see all those fingerprints and all those quilt pieces that she has from those people. And they're amazing. They're an amazing team. And we're not there for the money, okay? Although I did hear that we're going to, is there a bonus check or something that we're going to get here? No, you put that back in your jacket. I can see your, you leave that bonus check. We don't want that bonus check, do we? Do we want? No, we don't. No, but we're not there for the money, Jackie. These teachers at Meadow Lane, they could be pulling 6 figures, so easy, CFOs, but they love children. They love kids, and we're there for the passion. We're there to help you have the best year possible, okay? And that's why I love those kids, okay? I'm a little bit older maybe than some of them, I don't know, but they're wonderful, okay? But let's go back out. The last one, I want to say the last one. I'm sorry, I think I'm over my 2 minutes. The last one I want to do a call out and a shout out to is my class, is Jackie and the other ones. The Mighty 26, we call them, right, in reading. We hold up our swords, hold up our pencils, and we got 9 days before the Enskis reading, and they're just amazing. The perseverance, the stamina, the drive that these kids have. They're just right there. They're right there finding text evidence constantly, you know, and going into math, they're amazing too, finding different strategies, and I want to do a shout out to them, okay? So I want to do a toast to Jackie. Would you hold up your glasses? Let's go. This is what I do at Cream Turkey Day. We're going to learn some manners here. Hold them up. Let's go. See you in the back. Hold your glass. Here's to Jackie. Jackie, you have a destiny, a future, and I hope you're going to be somebody. I can't wait to see the quilt big stuff you have all over your body, how you're going to encourage people, how you're going to get them, put quilt blocks on them as well. You're amazing, my darling. And I want you to remember, you had a 3rd grade teacher that was crazy about you. Here's to Jackie.
Okay. All right. Jackie, I see why you like Mrs. Kane, too. Yeah. All right, now for middle school. Our winning student is Veronica Chapman, now a senior at East High School. And our winning teacher is Valerie Bergo, who is a counselor from Irving Middle School. Will you please come forward?
Awesome. Hi, my name is Veronica Chapman, and I brought my little sister, Gibby Chapman, who's a 7th grader over at Irving right now, and I brought my mom, Nancy Chapman, and I nominated Miss Valerie Bergo. Okay, perfect. Don't know how we're going to top that last one, but we'll give it a shot. Great job. Okay. You've got this. Middle school is a rough experience. Moody teens combined with raging hormones leads to more than a few debacles. Anyone who chooses to work in a middle school is either a saint or insane. Though, when I look back on my middle school experience, I'm not reminded by any of those debacles. Of course it was happening, don't get me wrong, but I had a strong support system in place to keep me on track to help me towards my next chapter. This support system was led by the saint, Miss Barago. The first week of 6th grade is a trying time. Trying to find your classes, trying to use deodorant, it's all just a lot. A memory that has stayed with me since then is how during lunch that first week, my 4 friends and I were sitting together when Miss Barago approached us. She introduced herself to us as our counselor and invited us to join her in a conference room for lunch. She explained that the first weeks of school she has lunch with all the lunch tables to create a relationship right off the bat with the new 6th graders. Well, it worked. We laughed and joked through the entirety of lunch and knew from that moment on we had a counselor in our corner. Miss Barago knew and valued the importance of having an open and honest relationship with her students. Having lunch with a group of students is a menial task, but when you replicate it on a scale to hold an impact on every student in the 6th grade, it can only be from true passion and dedication to her students. The rest of 6th grade, I saw Miss Barago in the hallway, but didn't go out of my way to really talk to her. She did, though. She remembered concerts, birthdays, family events, anything and everything to keep a relationship with her students. At a time in our lives when many students were feeling closed off and lost, Miss Barago was a welcoming beacon of light. It wasn't until my 7th grade year that I dropped by the counseling center with an actual problem. I set up a meeting with Miss Barago to talk about whatever was plaguing my mind. I don't remember the exact reason I set up the appointment, but I do remember with vivid clarity the advice that she gave me. You have 2 options, get better or get bitter. 6 years later, I am reminded of this advice often. Miss Barago never forced her ideas or on how she believed you should solve your situation. Instead, she gave the students the tools and advice they needed to navigate it. More than anything, Miss Barago respected her students. She didn't look down at the middle schoolers, but instead treated us all with respect and compassion. With Miss Barago's role as one of the middle school counselors, she guided her students for 3 years as we went through Irving. Even as I moved on to high school, I was still very connected to Irving. I volunteered once a week in a club led by Miss Barago for girls empowerment. I absolutely loved helping out at this club. It gave me an experience to connect with girls who need help and led me to find a passion in girl empowerment and the effect it can have on our community. Now, you may be thinking, this is all fine and dandy, but what else? What constitutes Miss Barago being recognized as one of Nebraska's finest teachers, especially when she's technically a counselor? The answer is simple. A teacher's role is to teach and inspire their students. Whether it be how she fostered relationships, valued compassion, or how she gave out excellent advice like candy, she has an impact on anyone's path that she crosses. As I reflect back on my 12 years in LPS, there's not an individual that has taught and inspired me more than the Saint Miss Barago.
Oh
yeah, your turn.
My turn. Yeah, it's hard to top even that. But first, I would like to congratulate Veronica on having her letter chosen. And I am pretty honored that it was about me. Thank you. I know her family's really proud of her as well, and you should be. She's simply amazing. I am really grateful that I've had her as part of my career, and I'm honored that she's kept me as part of her life. And she's the kind of person that helps you feel really confident about the future when you think, I'm getting older. What's my future going to look like? This girl, she's got it. So she, along with her friends, will make sure that we're all going to be okay. I just want to say a quick thank you to LPS and to the radio station for providing students with this opportunity. It's really cool. No doubt today is a highlight in my 35-year career. I mean, this is absolutely amazing, and I'm honored to have family and friends here with me today. First, my principal, Jason Shanahan, is here, and this man's sense of humor and calm demeanor can help make work even more fun than working with all the raging hormonal storm that lives inside a middle school, and he is very patient and supportive and encouraging. Our dear friends, Chris and Rob Denicola, that have supported our family in good times and in tough times. They are compassionate to the complexity of education, because it's complex, and the rigor that it entails over the course of the years. My husband, Mauro, he's my rock and my shelter, and he's my biggest admirer, even more than you, but thank you. Not every student responds to the advice as readily as Veronica did. And when those tough days happen, he listens with compassion, and then he tells me exactly what I need to hear. Something like, you've dealt with this and more. You'll figure it out. You've got it. And he keeps me grounded and gives me the strength to face any situation that arises. Thank you. My 2 adult sons who cannot be here today and are great products of LPS. They're very creative individuals, and so thank you, LPS, to them. They actually think I'm legit now, like this award. They're like, whoa, Mom, that's pretty awesome. Last but not least, my mom. This woman invented tough love, but it was exactly what I needed. She also told me things that I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear necessarily, and I think your parents are taking the same route with you. She pushed me to continue because, as we know, education is hard, college is hard, and there were times I wanted to just come home, and her strength and courage and inspiration kept me there. In fact, her words were, "Oh, you want to come home and work at a clothing store the rest of your life?" And through my tears, I was like, well, no. And so, you know, she gave me that push that got me through those first 4 years and then on to a master's. So thank you, Mom. I really appreciate it. She's a constant source of encouragement as well. Thank you again for this great event. This is incredible and amazing, and thanks to Veronica.
All right. Now in the high school division, the winning student is Trinity Babcock, junior from Southeast High School, and the winning teacher is Julie Kruger, also of Southeast. Please come forward.
I'm Trinity from Southeast. I nominated Mrs. Kruger, and I brought my mom, my dad, and my sister, who's a 7th grader at Sco Middle School. I want to thank Mrs. Kruger for changing my outlook on school and life. When I signed up for Mrs. Kruger's composition class, I expected to be able to cruise through class without much effort. Mrs. Kruger had other ideas and pushed me to grow as a writer and encouraged everyone around in her class to reach their full potential. She didn't just want kids to pass her class. She wanted them to succeed and take away a deeper understanding of writing and reading. She facilitated meaningful discussions in class relating to articles we read and encouraged everyone to share their opinion. Through the teaching of Mrs. Kruger, I can say that I am better prepared for college and for being a productive and compassionate member of our society. Although Mrs. Kruger is an extraordinary teacher, it's not her work in the classroom that changed my outlook on life. She took the role of being a teacher as an opportunity to make changes in the community. Even though I had her as a teacher, I knew who she was because her class was the one to beat during the food drive competition. Ever since I was a freshman, students and teachers would come together to collect as many donations and non-perishable food items as possible to outshine Mrs. Kruger. Every year, she somehow managed to turn in an unrealistically high amount of money in food items. As a freshman and sophomore, I just assumed she was highly competitive and offered unfair incentives to her classes to bring in more food until I had her last semester during the food drive. She shared touching stories of how important it was for her that families who relied on the food bank for meals were able to have something over the Thanksgiving holiday. She would go out on the weekends asking for donations for the LC food drive. It wasn't a matter of winning or losing. It was a matter of changing somebody's life because they were able to have a meal over the break. Another thing that Ms. Kruger does to help the community is that she works with a group of students at Southeast to organize Dunks for Dollars, which is a faculty basketball game that raises money for a different nonprofit organization every year. Last year they helped raise $4,100 for Special Olympics, and this year they actually did it for the backpack program and raised over $10,000, which was amazing. She is constantly working to get students out into the community and give them experiences with raising money and organizing events. Every year, Dunks for Dollars is a huge event, and this year was even bigger. Besides going out of her way to give back to the community, the most important lesson Mrs. Kruger taught me was to stand up for what's important and to not be a bystander. For our final essays in her composition class, a basketball player wrote a compelling essay on perseverance and the obstacles he faced through not being able to afford all the things necessary for high school athletics. Instead of just grading the paper and telling the students how well written it was, she reached out and tried to work with administrators and athletic directors to inform them on how kids are being deprived of opportunities due to cost. Mrs. Kruger changed my perspective on how I go about everyday life by showing me that no matter who you are, you're able to stand up and make a difference. I now feel like I can make a difference too, and by setting strong goals, I am able to accomplish anything. Mrs. Kruger firmly believes in giving back and the success of her students. One of her favorite activities she would have us do is write a letter to a former teacher who we felt helped shape who we were. She didn't allow us to write a letter to her, but she deserves to know how much she has helped to make me a more caring, responsible, and hardworking young adult. Thank you, Mrs. Kruger, for constantly putting your students before yourself and always striving to help others in the community. You have helped to steer me onto the right path as I attend college and enter the workforce. I am truly a better person because I got the opportunity to work with you.
Okay, I'm just going to stick to the script, or else this is going to be a train wreck. So, all right. Thank you, Trinity, for your kind words. This is a moment of my teaching career that I will hold fast to for many years to come. I truly do not have the right words at this time to express half of what I'm feeling. Mr. and Mrs. Babcock, thank you for raising such a wonderful young woman. Trinity is blessed to have been brought up in such a supportive, loving home environment, and this is evident to me by her kind demeanor, her can-do attitude, and her 100% determination to not only excel in the classroom, but also on the field in both softball and soccer. I admire your daughter so much for so many reasons, and I'm grateful to partner with parents such as yourselves that make my job that much easier. I'm very thankful that my son Corey is here with me today. All right, stick to the script. All right. Corey, you along with your brothers Kyle and Caleb have led me to have more positive interactions with students over the years due to the profound impact so many teachers and coaches have had alike on the three of you. This has directly impacted me by allowing me to reflect on my role as an educator through the lens of a parent, making me a better teacher in the process. Of my 20 years at Southeast, the past 5 have been some of my most rewarding. This is due in large part to the number of activities both you and Kyle have been involved with in terms of academics and athletics. Oh, this is hard. Okay. Wow. Okay. I am so proud of the determination you show while excelling in cross country, basketball, and track, while managing to maintain good grades and remain humble. When you were little, I used to sing "You Are My Sunshine" to you every night. You are still my sunshine to this day. Oh, I didn't bring Kleenex. And I love you for being one of the brightest lights in my life. Okay. And to my long-standing mentor and friend, Crystal Fulton. Crystal, who was one of the first teachers I worked with when I first started teaching, is here with me today. Crystal, you were one of the reasons I stuck with teaching when I wasn't 100% certain that I'd chosen the right path. And I want to thank you for that and for always being my rock at Southeast. You were the first person with whom, oh my gosh, all right, with whom I worked, who made me believe that teaching was indeed the right fit for me. You taught me about grace and positive intentions. Although I may never be able to repay you for all that you've done for me, I want you to know how much you are appreciated. I know without a doubt that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you. I admire you for your strength as an individual, for your dedication to your job, and for your heart for students. I know for certain that this recognition today is as much about you as it is for me. I am so, so thankful for you. Thank you for all the time and energy you invested in me. In closing, I would like to thank all the members of the Southeast faculty, including those that have retired since I first began teaching there, for embracing a culture filled with night pride. I enjoy going to school and working there each and every day. I know Corey told me not to cry, and I'm just, oh my gosh, all right. I'm also grateful for the opportunity to work for Lincoln Public Schools and appreciate the support provided for teachers like myself by members of the school board and the community. Trinity, I'm especially thankful for you for taking the time to honor me. I am truly humbled by this, and this is certainly a day I'll never forget. Oh my gosh.
And that's why we're here today. All right, finally, the retired category. We have a treat this afternoon. The winning nomination came from the first grade teaching team at Riley Elementary, Vicki Neely, Jenna Adamson, and Nikki Jansen. And they nominated Kathy Wertman, former teacher at Riley, who still substitute teaches there from time to time.
You say from time to time. We actually can't get rid of her. She's there about every day. As it is.
Well, this isn't going to help.
I am Vicki Neely,
Nikki Jansen.
and we teach first grade at Riley Elementary. And we didn't bring anybody but Kathy, because today's all about her.
She was the most important part.
Yes, that's right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read for all of us. Kathy Wortman taught kindergarten at Riley Elementary for 1,000 years. Maybe not quite that long, but that's a closer estimate to how long her influence will be felt. Now retired, Miss Kathy returns to Riley nearly every week as a substitute. She truly loves working with children and helping them to be the best version of themselves. When my career began at Riley, she was my mentor for that first year. But I never stopped learning from her, even after that official mentorship ended. I watched all the wonderful things that she did with students and could see that she was a special kind of teacher. She's taught students about Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi. She called them peacemakers and encouraged kids to be peacemakers themselves. Each student drew portraits of Gandhi and they hung in the hallway for weeks. She did a people rainbow to teach students about diversity. No one has black or white skin, she would say. We are all different shades of brown. The people rainbow, made up of skin tones, hung in their classroom all year. The students knew the word melanin and the role that it played in skin tone. Miss Kathy was an expert at early learning. She understood the importance of play in learning and its role in the social emotional development of children. She understood the importance of hands-on learning, and her classroom reflected that. She knew that age-appropriate learning tools were needed to help students be successful. She understood the powerful impact that music could have on learning. Even to this day, as a substitute, she hauls her CD player with her to every classroom. It doesn't matter what grade she's teaching, the day ends with music. She teaches them songs about friendship and community, about educational concepts, and love. During her reign at Riley, she and her teammates would orchestrate a kindergarten program. The students would prepare songs to perform for their families. The tradition has become the cornerstone and is still at the heart of Riley. The program started small, performed in each of the classrooms, but because the students and staff loved it so, it eventually became a performance in the gym for the whole school to see. Every student sitting on the floor of the gym knew the words to the songs that the kindergartners were singing. Every student sang along. The crown jewel of the concert was the finale. The students sang Love Can Build a Bridge, and the teachers taught them how to perform it in sign language as well. Tears of love and joy filled the eyes of the teachers each year as the song was performed. I got goosebumps even as I was writing about this portion when I was writing this portion of the letter. Each year, teachers would comment about hearing the song in the hallway when they walked past the kindergarten rooms. Teachers often said that hearing that song and knowing the performance was coming up gave them a boost in their step for the day. There is no match for the glory that these performances brought. Kathy is also an expert in multicultural education. She understood the need for learning about different cultures and taught beautiful units on different holidays. She covered Thanksgiving, where each student brought one ingredient needed to make a friendship stew. Hanukkah was taught, complete with latkes and applesauce. Chinese New Year included sitting on the floor and eating noodles, and so on. Each holiday unit concluded with a family-style feast where students sat around a table on the floor. Even today, she'll come in as a guest speaker and teach classes about different holidays. This year, she held the attention of 3 first-grade classes who were riveted by her stories of the miracle of Hanukkah and joined her in a circle to dance and sing a Hanukkah song. When Kathy is your sub, you know your students are in good hands. There's no end to her bag of tricks. A teacher once said, "I walked by the room that Kathy was in today. I don't think think she was teaching from the curriculum, but every word out of her mouth was pure gold. She might not be teaching what was in the plans, but what she was teaching was just important, if not more. If you know Kathy, you'll understand why many coworkers say, it's Kathy's world and we just live in it. She is strong, confident, and always fought for what was best for students. She was beyond dedicated. On many occasions, she'd leave her school at plan time to go wake up students who lived across the street but weren't yet in attendance that day. She went into homes to have parent-teacher conferences and sat on mattresses and spoke with moms. She made sure every student knew that they were loved from top to bottom. Her knowledge, dedication, and teaching of different perspectives is limitless. It is the opinion of many that the name Miss Kathy belongs right next to the peacemakers I mentioned before. Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Miss Kathy. Teachers, peacemakers, the best of the best.
Okay, is this loud enough? Can you hear me? Before I start, I just want to say, isn't it great to be in a room filled with kind and positive people who are all saying thank you? Isn't this great to be here today? You know? Good afternoon. Because this is a thank you party today, I want to begin with some thank yous and then end my comments with some thank yous too. I want to thank everyone who has worked so hard to make this annual Lincoln Public School celebration possible, and you got to do it twice, so this is great. We thank you very much for all of us that are being honored and for all the people here today. We appreciate your efforts. I want to thank my husband Mike for being here with me today. He's always been my role model in my personal life and in my professional life. And I want to thank the past and present Riley Elementary community, the students, the families, and the staff who have strongly supported me for many, many years. Riley has always been a great place for me to be. I was a kindergarten teacher at Riley Elementary for many years, and during that time, I always focused on three very important relationships. Relationships that were positive with my kindergarten friends, relationships that were important with my parents of those kindergarten students and their families, and with my kindergarten team. These kindergarten relationships kept me very, very busy. And even though I liked and respected a lot of other teachers in the building, I didn't have a daily relationship with them. Kindergarten was my world, and I just loved it. Then I retired about 5 years ago, and I decided to continue my relationship with Riley by being a substitute teacher. In this new role, I have learned so much professionally, and I continue to be a lifelong learner. Did you know that I can teach fifth grade math? I can teach ELL, special education, music, art, and I am a part of every single teaching team at Riley. And even more importantly, I have developed a much deeper personal friendship and relationship with all of these teams. So my kindergarten box just kind of opened up, and now I have all these new friends that I love very, very much. What an extended gift I have been given these past 5 years. Sometimes in life, the best gift is an unexpected gift from friends. Could it be a gift like a letter written by the first grade team of Vicki, Nikki, and Jenna? They were a team when I was still teaching at Riley, so I have known them for a while. But until recently, I never realized they had an incredible talent for writing thank you letters. So I want to thank you three for taking the time and making the effort to write a kind, beautiful, and I think extremely powerful letter that says to me that what I did in my kindergarten classroom with my students mattered to you and to the Riley community. And I find this extremely humbling and really very, very overwhelming. So I want to tell you three, I treasure our friendship. I'm so glad we have a mutual admiration society. I look forward to continue working with you in my job as a substitute to come and help you when I can.
And I thank you, thank you, thank you for this wonderful award. But most of all, I want you three to know that anyone who puts my name in the same breath as Martin and Gandhi, well, you are absolutely awesome and fabulous. I am truly blessed to know you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say a few thank yous of my own before we close. Thank you to everybody for being able to make this rescheduled event. Thank you to Julie Dansky of the LPS district offices and the entire LPS communications department. Thank you to Cynthia Whelan-Falk for all the great photos that we've had over here today. Also, Doug Dickinson, the guy who is way back here in the control room, who is broadcasting this live right now, live streaming, lps.org. I believe we're on Facebook. We are all over the place. All right. Also, thank you to our judges, Gary Reber from the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools, Rita Bennett from the Lincoln Education Association, and to all the communications team judges from LPS. I also want to honor our sponsors, Lincoln Public Schools and KFOR, as well as KFRX, with the support from the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools and the Lincoln Education Association. The gift bags come to you today thanks to the Lincoln Education Association, KFOR Radio, the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools, and Lincoln Public Schools. Also, a very special thank you to Mary Kay Roth, Lincoln Public Schools Communications Director, for her very hard work and, of course, dedication to putting on this heartwarming event together year after year, this time twice. She has facilitated this event for 20 years, and I think this should count as 21, shouldn't it? Okay. Today, as I said, we are live streaming this event, and the video is available on the LPS website. It will also be broadcast on cable access channels, and all nominators and teacher winners are going to get a copy of the video. Please, at the close of the program, we want you to head into the hallway where Cynthia is going to be taking formal photographs, and you will get copies of that as well. Thank you for coming, everybody, and don't forget, please thank a teacher. Thank you.